Wednesday and we've got a very special treat for you today. So I was thinking really hard, what does everybody love? What's everybody asked for? So you've all sent me some amazing suggestions. And when I got the Finding Nemo, Finding Dory one, I just thought, I quite like that idea. So today we're going to have a gorgeous Finding Dory. So I really hope that you like it. Okay, we're going to do an egg shape today, so I want you to really be thinking about curves. Let's use our wrist a bit, and then bringing in that whole shoulder. We're going to have some nice curves. What we're also going to have today is fins. So just draw me a few little fins, some that way, some that way. A few more curves, getting ready to do the main one. Just keep getting the hand nice and warm up. Okay, we're ready to draw. Right, so first of all, start thinking about how big you want your dory to be. So I'm going to go for about probably there to there. So I'm putting in the bottom and the top. It's not a circle at all. It is much more of an egg shape. So you definitely want it thinner than it is longer. Maybe slightly wider at the bottom if we're really going to think about it. Again, I'm going to have to turn my page because I'm too right-handed. We'll get that first shape in. Now, keep those lines really light, so that when you come to it and you think, oh, now I want that to be a bit wider, which is what I want here, it's really easy to go back and change it then. So that shape there, we talk about this loads in our classes. That first shape is the most important one. That's more important than anything else. That is what your whole picture will rest on. So get that one right, even if you have to rub it out a couple of times. When it comes to the pause bit, make sure you get that bit right. Now we're going to go about halfway down here and put a little mark in, and then go above that mark. I'm going to put in the first of what's going to become the fins. Really light again. Think about that shape here, that shape within the shape there. We're going to go in to there. And then leaving a small gap here, let's come out with the tail. I'm going to take it to the edge of the paper there and out. Now this second one, if you're thinking about it, if you take that across to there, we're going to go down a little bit from there and up. Think about that shape there. Think about the shape within the shape, the negative shape, and then we'll take that down. So that's our first set of shapes, and I would really take your time to get this right, because once you've got this right, everything else is going to be much easier. So you need your circle, 2 fins and a tail. Right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the eyes. So I want you to come in from the top of your fin there, just below, and we're going to go out because this eye sticks out. So we'll go out. And we'll go like that. That's going to give us that first eye shape. And we'll put the second eye shape in about the same way across. Think about how much space between. Look at the space between. And we're going to go down. They're not the same shape, these, because one is on the edge. You're thinking of the angle that you see it. And one is just there like that. So we've got the eyes in. And then you can put in the pupil and the iris. You'll need to rub that little line out. I'll do that in a minute. Pupil and the iris. Now here, this is just such a subtle thing, but it will make a huge difference to your drawing. At the bottom of the eye, where we've got that bit there, I want you to take it out a little bit, like that. And then if you rub that shape and rub those bits, you see, that's just changed the whole shape around here. Now, let's come up and put these lovely bits on the top. I like to think of them as her eyebrows. I'm not sure they really are, but we've got one. And this one curves round to there. And then that curves round to there. It's just thinking about that curve. You don't really need to do anything to the top or around there. And when we come here, we take that down to there. There. Now don't worry, you're going to have plenty of time. You can pause it and take your time to do this thing. So just, you're going to start there, do the eyes, then this bit, then take it round and work a little bit around this fin here with those extra shapes. And here in the tail, I want you to put some little lines. That's all you need to do there. And the last bit for this part is Dory's amazing smile. Now it's important we get where this goes. We're going to start at the bottom of the fin there, but we're not going to go all the way up the fin, just below it. And then another point about there. And take it round, this enormous smile. Okay. Right, we're going to just put a few little dots in here. This will only take you a few minutes and you can put them wherever you want. Just tiny little circles here. That's how we're going to start this one. And then we're going to come to the mouth. Now, here, this is the bottom of the mouth here. And what we're going to do is come in slightly and we're going to put that shape in. Then, and don't worry, this will all be when you pause, you'll be able to see it. Then we've got the top bit coming down. Okay, so it was that shape, then the top bit coming down. And then inside here, 1, 2. So it looks complicated, but it's really not. It's like anything in drawing, it's just about taking the shapes and thinking about the shapes. We're going to put a little line in that fin. And then here, up at the top of the head, I want you to bring a line out here. Take it there, and then lots of little lines here. So that's really nice and simple. And then inside this fin, I'm going to put a line there and a line. You'll see all this bit, all this on the next bit when you pause it. And here at the bottom. So let me just go over that again. We've got the little spots, we've got the mouth, a line in that fin, and a line in that fin. And then we've got these 2 top and bottom bits, and your Dory is done. Okay, so because I painted my Dory on some watercolour paper, I'm going to use paint. So I'm going to start with a wash, popping a little bit of water there into my palette. I'm going to go for a really lovely light blue here, cerulean. That's the same one as we used for the sky yesterday, and it is an absolute favourite. It's a beautiful, beautiful colour. So we're going to do it as if it's a gorgeous pale blue sea. Now, before we start, remember we've done this before. It's about creating a sort of invisible force field around our painting. So what I'm going to do is, I've just got water on my brush, nothing else. And I'm very carefully painting around the outside here. Here we go. This is going to give me my force field. Just going to take that water out a bit, not all the way to the edge, just a little bit. We'll go around the edge here. So I'm being really careful not to go onto my Dory at all. Just around the edges, like that. It's probably quite difficult for you to see this, but you might see a little bit of shine on the water. But all I've done is gone around it with pure water. Then I'm going to go in with my wash. Now, my wash will take me to Dory, but it will take me no further. It will be an invisible force field right around the edge of her. Can you see that? So even though I'm not really being very careful at all now with my paint, I'm just dropping this bit of wash into what I've already got there. Now you could go like that and leave it, or you could go right to the edge, whatever you want to do. I think I'm going to go sort of here, about in between. And now I'm just going to let that dry. Right, so we're going to do this now in our watercolour pencils. So remember, it's all about getting that pigment down on the paper. I'm just going to go around these edges here like that. She's quite a dark blue. So what I am going to do is colour this in quite dark, except these bits where I'll just go, I'll put those lines in there where I want them. Same here at the top. Oh no, that's here, yeah. That's it there. Same here. Nice and blue. Round the little circles. That'll make them really stand out because they've got like an extra layer of the pigment on then. Now if I just go round the outside of the eye and here. And that glorious mouth. Now I want to go actually on the inside of the mouth here. And there. Right, that's the blue. So that's what I'm going to do with the blue. And now I'm going to actually colour bits of it around here. So can you see if Elizabeth goes right in? While I'm colouring, this is quite bumpy, isn't it? And it's bumpy because that's the watercolour paper underneath it. It's got a kind of the bumpiness is like a tooth to the paper, and it actually holds the paint, so the paint will settle into it. But those bumpy marks, they are going to go when I put the paintbrush on. So if you watch this next bit, you will see I want this to be super dark. So look how much paint I've put on there. And that shape in there, I will colour. Okay, right, let's get my brush now. So here, I'll do this bit first. Can you see how the bumps are disappearing? The bumps are disappearing under my brush here. And around there. As it turns to paint. There's plenty of pigment on that brush there. But you can see I've still got that line there and this one here. And as I take it around there, you see, although it's turning, it's still keeping those lovely little circles that I wanted. They look really subtle, really nice and subtle. Right, and that is the blue. So we'll leave that to dry for a minute or two and then we'll pop in the other colours. Right, we're going to start here with the black in the pupils there. That's it. So we've got the black in. I'm going to turn that to paint immediately because I want that to dry. With these watercolour pencils, you've got to remember to make sure you leave plenty of time to allow it to dry in between. If you put something on before it's dry, it'll just run into each other. Might make that eye a little bit bigger. I can do that now with the paint. Okay, and whilst that's drying, I'm going to come on and do the mouth here. Exactly the same way. You can see I'm pressing quite hard here, and that is because I really want it to be quite dark. If I only press lightly, it's going to end up being a sort of grey, a dirty grey rather than a black, and I really want black here. So let's go down. You see I'm really pushing the black pigment into the paper there. And we'll have a line down there and a line down there. And here, all the way up the edge and up the edge there. When it's all really dry, I'll probably come back with my black and go over a couple of the outlines. But I'm not going to do that now because I want to put the yellow in after that. I'm going to take my brush here. You can see it's not really that entertaining to watch paint dry, but I can see already that the paint in the eye is almost dry now. So that's how fast these dry compared to the watercolour paint that we used in the background, which had a lot of water in it. So this, you can see how dark it's coming. That's purely because I've just put so much pigment down there. But they're a lovely, neat way to paint these. and round, and then finishing it here. And I'm going to go back into the eyes and do the purple, but I'm going to leave it to dry just a minute or two before I do. So we're going to do the shapes here. So we're going in with this gorgeous purple. Pop the purple in. Same round here. And I'm going to take a really little brush here and turn that to paint. The same on there. Really doesn't take much there now. And then we're going to finish with this yellow, this gorgeous bright angelfish. Are they angelfish, Elizabeth? No idea. Elizabeth's a geographer, not a zoologist. Here we go. And not an octonaut. Anybody out there watch the Octonauts? Huge fans in this house we were. Right, so it's the top bit that's in yellow, and I actually make sure you leave that little white bit there. There was a tiny bit of blue that we missed down that side, so I'll just pop that in there. Now you can turn the yellow into paint if you want to. You don't have to. You could go in with a fine liner and add bits to the outside. Whatever you want to do. This is your painting, so I want you to finish it off whatever way you want. Really hope that you love doing that, and I cannot wait to see what you've done. So please go to our Facebook page, go to the comments and get mum or dad or someone to send us a picture of your painting or you holding your painting. Tell us how old you are and tell us what you really loved about it. And if you can think of any ideas of other things you might like to do, we would love to hear. So we will see you tomorrow when we're going to do a really beautiful spring snowdrop. So see you then.